Bruce's big call Dinar Intel Tuesday night the 10th of June 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Transcribed by Wiser, now emailed to recaps. Welcome everybody to the big call tonight. It is Tuesday, June the 10th, and you're listening to the big call. Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're excited to have another call tonight. Even though we didn't think we would necessarily be here tonight, we are. And we've got a lot of good information to impart to everybody tonight, so fasten your seatbelt, some drink water. Little unsweet tea. And let's go ahead and pray the call in. I tell how old I am, they go, you don't look like 71. And you sure don't act like, well, that's true. I don't act like that. But what's really good is that we're going to be taking advantage of this. And I think what Jeannie said in her prayer and praise message tonight, that it should be soon. We have been so close to getting started, that we were like, and all of a sudden, boop, something else. Something else happened. Well, I think they're running out of things to throw at us. So let's believe that we are coming into this very soon. I want to tackle one question that Bob brought up to me from a big call listener in Oklahoma. Oklahoma with, now I live in Oklahoma. And to be fair to those from Oklahoma, really an Okie. I don't really sound like an Okie, but I love the people here. I love the churches here. I get along well with everybody, but this gentleman was asking about Wells Fargo, because they ain't no Wells Fargo banks in Oklahoma. There aren't any banks, Wells Fargo banks here. How are we going to do that? Well, guess what? They do have wealth management offices for Wells Fargo, Oklahoma. Now I don't know about Oak City, but I know Tulsa, and I know where it is in Tulsa. Now it's not like there's a bunch of them or anything, but they have a presence here. Now this is the point of me making this message to you. Even though the big five banks, Fargo Chase, Bank of America, Citi, and Truist Bank, or our big top-tier banks. Or tier 1 banks with Buca Santander Bank also kind of in that group, but that's more based on Mexico and Latin America. Okay, we have some here, and there'll be more in the US. But right now we have other banking institutions that are connected to or adjacent to or close to redemption centers. So in some cases, there might be a Chase Bank that is connected to a redemption center, but next to it, or even connected to it, could be a redemption center. Guess who's running the redemption center? It's not Chase, it's Wells Fargo. So even if you don't have a Wells Fargo bank where you live, you have Wells Fargo over the redemption center where you live, centers across the United States. I know that's our primary audience right now, is the US. All of them have Wells Fargo representatives in there that will do our exchanges. Now, let's say you're in Oklahoma, and you do your exchange at a redemption center. You redeem your ZIM if you have it, and you're put, and you've got a Wells Fargo accounts. Most of what you'll do in the future does not require retail banking. You're in a different level after this goes, you're the level where you would have a premier banker. Should you want one? A premier, that's what they've renamed the wealth management to premier banking. You'll have that premier banking, and you can bank with that individual if you want, or just do your banking online if you want to. And that's what the new Q phones, those satellite phones that work on the Starlink satellite system, will operate on, and they will be able to safely transact even using a phone like this Q phone. The satellite phone that we're going to get, if you're a ZIM holder, you get one at the redemption center. If they run out or they don't have the phone for you, they'll give you a certificate to get a free phone somewhere in T-Mobile that has been working with these phones since Elon Musk saved President Trump's desire. For Western North Carolina after Helena came through and a bunch of people were stranded. They didn't have cell service, they didn't have anything. They didn't have electricity. Well, Elon hooked them up. I think it was about 18,000 of those Q phones. Essentially same thing we're going to get the Q phone with for those people to operate free for 90 days with T-Mobile. Now they have that offer out. Now T-Mobile, does you get a 90-day deal? And I think after that, it's like only $10 a month, which doesn't make sense, but that's what it is. That's what it is. If we get our deal and it's a 90-day free, and then $10 a month after that, so be it, fantastic. That is the current offer that's out now. And it's the same phone that we're going to be offered at the redemption center, if you're a ZIM holder. Okay, just saying. Now that really helped, the fact that Elon put that together through the Starlink satellite system, which is what it operates on. And, through T-Mobile, it just worked out great. I'm so glad he did that. It's tremendous. Alright, so let's go back. Don't worry if you don't have a Wells Fargo bank, and if you love your other Tier 1 bank or Tier 2 bank, even for that matter, you can get this connected to your Quantum accounts through your Quantum Access card. You supposedly have 3 banks that you can attach to that card. Wells, say number 1, Chase, you might add Bank of America, you might and Truist to it, like I said. It's comfortable for us, after you master Trust and my master account with Wells and 4 sub-accounts under LLCs with Wells, blah, 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 sell that up. And then I'll be able to move funds around and move into those accounts and use those accounts accordingly, with a credit debit card for each of those 4 or 5 accounts. So separate one designated for each one. Keep up with that. That's just the way my attorney and I have set up. So don't worry about it. If you only have Wells, if you're in Oklahoma, if you have a lot of listeners in Oklahoma, and overall, and it's going to be fine. And if you want to use another bank, if you feel comfortable with another bank of size Wells, by all means, add it to your Quantum card. Throw some money in there. Possess yourself a little bit. In what you're doing, remember, you're going to have R&R money coming in. You're going to have your Doge payment coming. You're going to have your increase in Social Security still to be this month. Even though it's the 10th of June. Tomorrow's the 11th, which is a Wednesday, a Social Security busy. But let's see whether you need to get paid tomorrow on Social, whether they get their increase or not. My understanding our Social Security contact is that we'll have an increase of 85 or 90% above now in Social Security at age 62 over. Okay, if you're getting it at age 62 or 3. If you're getting it at 65 or 70, great, whatever it is, whatever you're getting now. Figure out an 85 to a 90% increase, depending on age or your year of birth. And I can't tell you exactly what it is. I don't want to be wrong. This is fresh from Social Security Department yesterday that we have a contact that we talked to. So look forward. My point is, there will be funds coming to you outside of your actual currency exchange. And Zim redemption. You could see some other banks or some other accounts with some of that money system is dead to the Quantum financial system. And all of our accounts are now in USN. No longer designated as USD, so no longer fiat currency, but rather United States Treasury notes or United States notes designation. That's good, but we're getting it. That's part of NESARA. The other thing that's gone, IMF, IRS is gone, but we'll see how it comes out to us on this whole taxation issue. What NESARA said about a consumption tax of about 14 to 15% on new items that we buy. Oh, no, really, you spend $1 million a year in new items. Would you rather pay 15% in the price of an item that you spent $1 million on this new versus spending $4,050, 60% of your income in taxes? Hello, if you're going to be making real money, which you will even in interest from the bank that's earned interest income, Schedule B, are better off for the consumptions a year on new things. Whatever if you do, you do. If you don't use new homes, use homes or previously owned homes. No tax previously owned cars, there'd be no tax, so we'll see when that kicks in. Now, let's round this thing up. I'm going to come in from the back of this. June 14th is 50-year anniversary of the Army. It's Flag Day and President Trump's birthday. That's this Saturday 14. You guys know about the parade that's going to take place Saturday in Washington, D.C. We've got equipment and soldiers military coming from 9 different military bases throughout the country. Yeah, there's tanks loaded up on trains from Texas coming all the way up to DC, and they got those special hard plastic things that they put on the tank threads so that they can drive them on the streets without tearing the street apart. So they'll have those, and it's going to be great. Now, I don't know what time the parade starts. It might be at 9 or 10. Well, we'll catch it, but it should be on Fox. It should be on Newsmax. I think it'll be covered on One American News. It should be a lot of channels. I toggle between Newsmax and One American News. That's what I've toggled between now. So you've got that on the 14th now. What else could happen, as we believe we're hearing on is the beginning of the rollout of NESARA. And it should roll out between June 14th and July 4th, where people are made aware of it. Where people are able to respond accordingly to what's included in the SARA. Let's just see it actually as the release date, meaning we should get an announcement about the USN, our new currency, the USTN. United States Treasury note, which is already in the bank and has been in there for 2 years. Same thing as redemption centers. It's been their centers, so let's see it comes together. Now let's go back and see where we are since last Thursday. On Thursday's call that information, telling us that we would be getting notified either Tuesday or Wednesday. Today or tomorrow for our 800 numbers, and said our appointment in, quite possibly, would have been Wednesday, Thursday. Now, what has happened since Thursday? Well, if you've seen what's happening on insurrections or riots in LA, that is, I think that has slowed us down a few days. It wasn't supposed to, but we've got to put an end to that insurrection, and that's why you've got 7,000 Marines really coming from. Think it's PS 29 in the Palm Springs, California area training 30, 40 miles south of LA right now. And, yeah, look, if the Marines come in, they use rubber bullets, let me put it that way, so we hope they don't have to really be used in that capacity, because it's still a little reality. But what's happened is these protesters are actually doing more than protesting. They're violent, in a lot of cases, throwing cinder block, pieces rocks, bottles of ice water that are frozen. Bottles of water and everything at ICE agents and military. Well, not even military, but the reserve troops, they're there. And so happening with that is they were to be paid, or have been paid through some agency fund that, of course, they know where the source of the money is, and they shut that down. But that area, guys, we're gonna have the Olympics there 3 years. Come on, going on. We got to do construction to do you've got fire and fire. President Trump could do the governor picture. Doing those guys don't, and you guys live in California. And so what I'm going to say is, I think we are moving forward, but we got to put an end to the insurrection. Now, there are other cities, keeping an eye on hotspots. We've got people there. What's going on? I think some of those areas before that, they'll be shut down before they even get started. So we'll have to see how that goes. Now, let's our timing. We heard this afternoon also our Iraqi spoke with contact in Iraq who spoke with and has been speaking with Alec of the Central Bank of Iraq, and they theoretically renamed the CBI, SBI of Iraq, Sovereign Bank of Iraq. But nobody calls it that. Yet it's still CBI to them. That's fine. But Alec is saying that the Iraqi they want to become an 80% digital currency. 80% digital today. Alec said there's 78%, it's only 2% more to go. He indicated more days, 48 hours to get to 80% digital in Iraq. Okay, let's say that's Wednesday, Thursday. By sometime Thursday, we could be there. He said we could and would start with the RV with notifications Friday or Saturday. Obviously Friday, but I'll also tell you, will the parade in DC for Flag Day and Trump's birthday be a distraction for either numbers coming out? Or of possible exchanges that we do, and they do not want someone going willy-nilly at all over the country if there's insurrection going on. So this was a move by the deep state not only to try to get ICE to cut down or slow down or not do what they would pick up illegal alien criminals, but it was also a way to slow down and prevent the RV from taking place. Now they're not going to win at that, but they did slow down, possibly for a day or two, if you want to look at it that way. I think that even told, everything is on a sort of an automatic timer, that I wonder if that timer could be stopped or restarted from time to time, all based on algorithms and everything like that. But I think their intention is to release the numbers to us either Friday or Saturday. As for right now, that's what we got for today. We've got Sat with possible exchanges Saturday, or very early next week, which would be, 16th and 17th? Right? Monday, Tuesday. So let's hope we get notified Friday with the toll-free numbers. I'll get the numbers out as we can to get your own emails. And then we'll also have it on the website bigcalluniverse.com. We'll put the 800 number on that as well, so you'll see there. Alright, let's see, is there anything else? That is the gist of what we're talking about tonight. Keep an eye out for anything that you've seen that looks strange. I don't expect anything. I think it would get squashed if there was any more rioting, or insurrections and so on. They're not going to win it. The QFS, interconnectivity of the satellite Starlink system. Everything is in place to begin for us. It's all coming together. All of these currencies around the globe are actually going to be digital as well, not just the Dinar, USN. Everybody is going to have a digital currency. It's hard for me to tell exactly what role the cryptocurrencies are going to play yet, but they're part of this. Crypto is what we're going to experience with our new USN and our USTN currency and so on. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, watch out Edmonton. I'm not watching it, but I'm hearing about it. They're doing really well. So let's see how they do tomorrow night in Florida. Everything gets evened up in the hockey world. Otherwise, guys, let's pray to call out. We're ready for that, aren't we? Yes, let me see if I got a phone here. Everybody, have a great time tonight. Let's keep praying for peace, not only here, but the peace of Jerusalem. Alright, God bless you all. Let's turn off the recording. Listen to the full version on the official DinarReport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: DinarRecaps.com